Today, I'm going to be looking in my crystal ball to see which players we should be targeting right now, which players are going to have their value increase from now until kickoff. So today we're going to be talking about trade targets, players to target, and we're going to start with Dak Prescott. This one I can't really understand. There's not a lot of talk about Dak Prescott. There's a lot of talk about George Pickens and what they've done to the offense and how dynamic this offense could possibly be. But this offense is not going to be dynamic if Dak Prescott is no good. And I think Dak Prescott has the potential to be extremely good in 2025. Looking back at his past, I mean, this is a quarterback with 2 seasons as a top 5 fantasy quarterback, 4 seasons as a top 10 fantasy quarterback. And in 2020, Prescott averaged 27.9 fantasy points per game through 5 games. So we know he has a decent upside. He may not have the rushing upside that he once had earlier in his career. But if we look back just to last season in 2023, he was number 4 in pass attempts with 590, number 3 in passing yards, over 4,500 passing yards, number 1 in the entire NFL in passing touchdowns with 36, number 1 in money throws, number 2 in true passer rating, and number 2 in QBR. And it's not like he's going to give us nothing on the ground either. He was number 11 in rush attempts with 55. And now look at what the Cowboys have done this offseason. They drafted an offensive guard in the first round in Tyler Booker. They traded for George Pickens to pair with CeeDee Lamb. And they don't have much at running back. Javonte Williams looks to lead the running back room as of right now. So this is likely going to be a team that's going to be very dependent on their passing attack. And the kicker is the Dallas defense is not going to be very good. This team is going to be playing in shootouts quite a bit in a dome in good weather for the entire season, at least at home. Last season, the Dallas Cowboys ranked number 31 in points allowed per game at 27.5, and they likely aren't going to be much better in 2025. And Dak Prescott is currently ranked as the quarterback 22 according to Keep Trade Cut, and at that price, I am in on buying Dak Prescott right now. I think his value is going to go up between now and the start of the NFL season in 2025. Let's talk about a running back, Chase Brown. Chase Brown is going to be playing in one of the premier offenses in the NFL, and he's going to see targets in this offense. Last year, Brown ranked number 6 amongst running backs in targets with 65. Brown also saw a 65% snap share, which ranked number 11 amongst running backs, and I don't really see that changing much in 2025. The Bengals' current depth chart doesn't really inspire that much confidence. Zach Moss, Samaje Perine, and they drafted Taj Brooks in round 6 of the NFL draft. The Bengals also ranked number 25 in points allowed per game last season. So you know Joe Burrow, with this offense, they're going to be able to move the ball, and they're going to have to throw it. They're going to have to check it down some to Chase Brown. And the fact that their defense wasn't very good and their star defensive player, Trey Hendrickson, is in a contract dispute with the team doesn't really bode well either. And Chase Brown right now is RB17 according to Keep Trade Cut. I mean, this is a running back that's still 25 years old in a dynamic offense with not that much competition. I mean, what am I missing? Let me know in the comments why we shouldn't be buying Chase Brown and why his value isn't going to go up once we get closer to the start of the season. Isiah Pacheco is up next. The cost is just unbelievable to me, and Pacheco is going to be the starting running back for the Kansas City Chiefs most likely. He was hurt last year. He was playing hurt. He came back too soon, and that clearly limited his performance. And he's currently the RB30 according to Keep Trade Cut. Don't forget that in 2023, Pacheco finished as the RB14 in fantasy points per game with 15.3 fantasy points per game and was commonly taken in round 2 in redraft leagues. People were very, very high on Isiah Pacheco last season. During the 2023 season, Pacheco also ranked number 13 in snap share amongst running backs at 61.2% and number 8 in opportunity share at 72.4%. And the first 2 weeks of last season, go back and look. The numbers were very similar until he was hurt. The Chiefs also did not add a running back this offseason outside of Elijah Mitchell and round 7 pick Brashard Smith. Kareem Hunt is also still on the roster, but there isn't really much standing in the way of Pacheco earning the RB1 job in what should be a high potent Chiefs offense. Pacheco also ranked number 10 amongst running backs with at least 100 snaps in PFF's rushing grade during the 2023 season, and at his current cost, I think Pacheco's value is going to go up. But let me know what you think in the comments. Jaylen Waddle is up next. Jaylen Waddle, this is simple. We don't know what we're going to get from Tyreek Hill this year. 2024 was not great for any of the Dolphins pass catchers, but it wasn't great for Tyreek Hill. He ranked number 29 in fantasy points per game amongst wide receivers with 12.8. Hill is now 31 years old. There's a lot of weirdness surrounding him, and it's possible his best days are behind him. If Hill is not up for the task of being the Dolphins' number one wide receiver, the next option, perhaps the only option next up, is Jaylen Waddle, capable of taking on those duties. The next wide receivers on the depth chart are Malik Washington, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, who I guess can catch a touchdown every day, Eric Ezukama, etc. It's not the most fascinating, inspiring cast of characters, and I get it. Waddle's 2024 season was absolutely dreadful. He finished as the wide receiver 50 in fantasy points per game, played in 15 games, but this Dolphins passing attack was hurt because Tua was hurt. He only played in 11 games, and the Dolphins' backup quarterbacks were not great. The cost is also great. I mean, Waddle is currently ranked as the wide receiver 27, according to Keep Trade Cut. And I just want to ask you a question, the audience. What happens if Tyreek Hill is not capable of being the Dolphins' number one wide receiver? I mean, it's very possible also that Tyreek Hill comes back and he's the Dolphins' number one wide receiver, but we're buying in on Jaylen Waddle at his floor right now. And my guess is that Tyreek Hill, 31 years old, probably needs to be monitored throughout the season, probably is not what he once was. And if that's the case, we are getting a value with Jaylen Waddle. Courtland Sutton is up next. Courtland Sutton plays in a good offense. Last season, he ranked number 13 amongst wide receivers in targets with 135, number 2 in air yards, 1,787 air yards. Absolutely incredible. Number 9 in expected fantasy points per game with 18.3. And this is a sharp contrast from his actual finish of 14.1 fantasy points per game. And in year 2, with Bo Nix and Sean Payton, Sutton should see a similar opportunity in this offense. The only target competition would be Marvin Mims, Devon Vele, newly drafted Pat Bryant in the 3rd round. They also have Troy Franklin, Trent Sherfield, and newly acquired Evan Ingram. But my guess is that the target share for Courtland Sutton is going to be very similar to the 25% that he saw in 2025. And at wide receiver 46 costs, according to Keep Trade Cut, I'm in on Sutton, and I think his value, even though he's a veteran wide receiver, is likely going to go up because as people start to remember what this Denver Broncos offense was last year, and especially considering, they're going to have a rookie quarterback or rookie running back rather, year 2 with Bo Nix, I bet that Sean Payton decides to trust Bo Nix a little bit more. Maybe they open up the playbook for him in the passing game, and that's going to benefit Courtland Sutton. So I like Courtland Sutton quite a bit as a dynasty buy, especially if you're a win now team. Now we'll finish the episode with a tight end. And I really don't get this one either because TJ Hockenson was clearly dealing with the effects of being injured. He tore his ACL heading into the 2024 season, and he was recovering from that, and he missed time. Rather, he tore it late in the 2023 season, so that affected his 2024. But he should be good to go according to reports. And at his peak, Hockenson was a no doubt about it, set it and forget it, top 5 fantasy option at the tight end position. He proved that over the course of 2 years. Now there is some uncertainty with JJ McCarthy taking over at quarterback, but this offense is as high powered as they come. And I'm not sure why a 27-year-old tight end with a history of finishing as a top 5 option at the position is currently ranked as the tight end 7 according to Keep Trade Cut and player number 93 overall. But at that price, especially with this offense and Kevin O'Connell being able to resurrect Sam Darnold, I think he can make JJ McCarthy work at that price. And in this situation, I'm in on TJ Hockenson, but let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think of all of those options as dynasty buys in the comments. And don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, be good, everybody, and we will see you later.